recording started, right? Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Sure. So let me share my screen, right? And I
Okay.
just give you a demo of how we can use Power BI, a real-time visual dashboard, right? With the one use case where client,
Perfect.
yeah, where you can help or you can just apply in your company, right? Let me just quickly take it.
Awesome.
Is my screen visible?
Yep.
Just take this first.
Perfect.
Okay, fine. So is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So first, let me go through, right, the I just show you how this Power BI works, right, for clients, because like many of our clients, like they came across with the problem of reporting, right? So like they are not able to, you know, track the real time their performance matrices, right, and the KPIs. So we came up with a solution to have you know, the data analytics into the play. So we are leveraging data analytics, and we are using a tool, Power BI, to have a, you know, the real time visualization of the data, right? So why the master tool is required, right? So these are the like 7 pillars, right, of using this tool. First of all, of course, is a cost cutting, right? Even though it's a small, you know, the initial investment in this particular solution, but it can help, you know, organizations to have a cost efficient scenarios. It can help to organizations to study different scenarios, or it will help them to make, you know, fast decision making. So with
Mhm.
that perspective, if someone is going to monitor the data real time, right, they can take fast decision, and further they can reduce some losses to happen, right? So with one of our client who are running the marketing campaign, right? So if we are not able to track marketing campaign across different channels, right, then of course it's a waste of money. But if I we are seeing that, okay, we are getting from one particular source the more return, right? So I will utilize my all resources toward that particular highest producing ROI, right? So in that perspective, the cost cutting is the main factor. The second point, which is the data simplification, right? Because I think nowadays there are a lot of reports in an organization, right? The decision makers are, I think, overburdened with high, like, you know, the spreadsheets, and which are not secure spreadsheets, right? So these dashboards are easy to understand charts, right? It contains graphics, it contains infographic, and it has a real-time data visualization that if you click on any particular tab, the data will change and it will show you the real results, right? So as explained earlier, also it helps you in making decision making faster. So uh, we can make dashboard for different departments, right? So let's suppose we can make this dashboard for sales, for manufacturing industry, for construction industry. We can do it for service industry. We can do it for the restaurant industry, for hotel industry, right? So it is very comprehensive, right? And we can use it for any industry with any department, right? The only prerequisite to it is uh, we move clients to, you know, cloud-based solution, so that we can retrieve the real-time data, right? And in most of the cases, client doesn't have the cloud system, right? So like let's suppose if some clients is not maintaining their inventory on their accounting system, right? So we can help them maintaining the uh, inventory on spreadsheet. So we can connect also through spreadsheet. So there we can connect through multiple sources, right?
Okay.
So that's the beauty of this, you know, the dashboard. And of course, then since we can work with the different departments, so all the team members, they are more empowered, right? Because they
Yeah.
can take decision very quickly, right? And they don't have to wait for someone to show the data and to show the reports. They can make decisions, very quickly and collaboratively, right? So if I come to point six, right? So since I mentioned it's a real time, why we say it's a real time? Because it is directly connected to the source data. So let me give you one example. We did one project for our client who is maintaining the accounting data in QuickBooks, right? So QuickBooks actually doesn't have much, graphical dashboards with them. They have very standardized dashboards, or they are using third-party apps to produce the dashboards. So we connected to the QuickBooks and we prepared entire sales and entire AR and AP dashboards for them, right? So whenever client update any data in QuickBooks, right? So it is automatically refreshed and it will be represented on the dashboard. So that is the reason,
Perfect.
yeah, that is the reason it is a real time. You can
Yeah.
monitor your data, you can monitor your performance, right? And you can have, trend analysis also, that in which direction our company is going, right? In terms of sales, in terms of marketing efforts, everything, right? So this is why this tool is important, why we felt the importance of this tool, right? So this is the masterpiece. This is a solution which every small business owners is required, right? Not just the big companies, but the small business owners. And the beauty of it is like we can have mobile app also for it. So you can see these dashboards on your tab. You can see this dashboard on your mobile. You can see it on the web. So I will show you the dashboard which is currently published on the web, right? So we can see it. So these are the benefits of using this dashboard, that we have a very fast response to it. We are not reliant on, on the tech teams, right?
Yeah.
So it's very easy to use, and we have more access to the data rather than limited access to the data, right? So that is the solution which we present, right? So this is the comparison of a regular enterprise or a BI driven enterprise, right? So the benefit is like we have a standardized reporting because no one is coming up with their own reporting formats, right?
Right.
Reporting is not haphazard, right? It's very standardized reporting, right? And definitely it enables the management to take the proactive decisions rather than, like, let's suppose we have a meeting
Guessing.
in the month end, right? Until that time, everything has already happened. So I can monitor this from the day one, right? So we can
It's
take
critical.
proactive. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very critical. We can take decision from the day one, right? Any questions you have right now, Lisa, on this?
No, it seems like a very critical component for every business to be able to understand where they are and where they're going.
Right, right. Okay, sure. So let me take through you through this process, how it works.
Perfect.
As I mentioned, the first point, which is very important, is designing the SOPs or the formats, right? Because we need to capture data from some source. So if the formats are not correct, if the company doesn't have the SOPs, right? So we will not be able to collect the data. So we need to first make the data collection process very clean. So either we can have it from the softwares, right? Or we can have it from the spreadsheet. So our backend team, they clean the data. Because data might be irrelevant, right? They will clean the data and they will utilize, the process data rather than just source data. And through this, we can then identify KPIs. If you see here, we can identify KPIs with the management and the key responsibility areas with the management. Accordingly, once we are done with the KPI setting, we can then start connecting with the data source. And once we connected with the data source, then we can represent this, real time reports before the management, right? So we can, like, coming back to the process, right? So this is the entire process which we work around. So let me take you through one sample dashboard, how it looks like, right?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So if you see this dashboard, we this is a sample dashboard, not representing any client data. But yes, this is something which the exact outcome of using this tool. So if you see here, I'm like explaining you the sales dashboard. You can have the period here. Even if I change the dates, right? So my entire data will change, right? If I change date, my entire data will change. So that means I can put date, and I can see the results, right?
Yeah.
So here you can see all these are the KPIs, the sales by product type, sales by representative, sales by deal size, sales and profit, actual versus, the total sales. What is my target and what is my actual sales achieved, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you see here, uh, this is the case study which we prepared for textile manufacturer. So these are the product types. So here you can see, I can see that which of my product type is actually having the highest sales. So here you can see the garments is something which is the on the higher side, right? So I can see total sales during this period. I can see my total profits. I can see sales by my deal size. Actually, I can also see sales, my target versus my actuals. And I can also see the representation on the location wise sales. So I can see what is my sales location wise, right? Let me just show you some magic here. So let's suppose if I want to see sales of Paul, right? So if I select Paul, so you
Wow.
can see my
Yeah.
entire data change, right? Now I can see sales done by Paul, then the product types. I can see my actual versus target. With respect to Paul, I can also see where Paul has made the sales across the locations.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
this is something which
It's
is very
powerful.
critical KPI, right? For anyone. Now
Mm-hmm.
I can see sales my product type also. So if I click on garments, so it will show you sales of that particular garment, that product type. Now if I can see sales and profit month on month, I can see sales of this garment across this particular states. I can see sales of this garment, my budgeted versus my actual sales.
Mm-hmm.
So I can move data anywhere, right? I can change dates. I can see sales with my sales representative. I can see sales with my product type. So this is the one, the important dashboard which we prepared for one of the client. I think sales is one of the area of interest with everyone, right? Be it in any industry, whether it's a small scale business or whether it's a medium sized business or it's a, the large scale business.
I
Let me show
agree.
you. Yeah, let me show you the other dashboard. So here you can see now how much is the orders per year, right?
Okay.
How much orders I receive per year. Who are all my customers, my top 10 customers? I can see here, right? So even if I
Yeah.
click any, let's suppose if I want to detail the mini classics, right? So I can click on it and all data will change, right? So I can see my sales on the top 8 customers here. And then I can see my sales decomposition, which is very important. So here we need to analyze, the reason for the return, right? So let's suppose if I go on California, so you can see my sales in California. So
Okay.
segment
It breaks
wise
it
sale
down more. Yeah.
breaks it down more. So let's suppose if I want to see the garments, so I can see garment, how much quantity is being shipped, how much amount of quantity is being shipped, how much is the return. So if I further drill down, in return, I can see the why it is returned. There is some technical errors or the quality issues. So I can just monitor state wise, product wise, and the reason of the return of this product, right? So this is one very good use case which can be like which we can in fact implement in any organization.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
Super helpful.
and if you see here, let me just do a refresh quickly. So if let's suppose now, like if I want to see the source of sales, right, that from
Mm-hmm.
where I'm deriving my maximum sales, right? So my sales system will not tell you, right? So we need to integrate it with the CRM. So here we integrated both system, sales, the accounting systems, right, and the billing system. Plus we have integrated the CRM system, or you can say the marketing tools, right? So here I can see, if you see the pie chart, I can see the maximum sales are coming from the marketing campaigns, and the second highest coming from the referral systems, right? And of course, through any other medium. So we picked four mediums here. So I can see the maximum is coming from the marketing campaigns, right? So let's suppose if I want to see Tokyo collection, right? So I can see Tokyo collection sources coming from where, right? So, and in fact, I can see the sales funnel. So let's suppose if I want to see Tokyo collection. Okay. So here we can also see the sales funnel. How much is it? How much of the value is in the leads
Wow. Yeah.
section? How much of the value is there in the sales are not sales exactly. My deals are in the opportunity stage, negotiation stage, and if in the win stage.
Yeah. This
So
is this is powerful.
yeah, yeah, of course. So any questions as of now, Marisa?
No, I mean, this is a very powerful snapshot of where everything is at real time.
Right.
Yeah.
So like talking about the how we can implement this and how what are the steps, right?
Yeah,
And
that would be helpful for sure.
yeah, so first of all, as I mentioned, we first of all see what are the data sources, right? From where we need to collect the data, right? And as per let's suppose if you want to monitor your 4 5 departments, let's suppose sales you want to monitor your inventory, you want to monitor your payroll, your purchase, your procurements, right? So we will see what are the data sources, like are you doing, you're working on any software or just the spreadsheets, right? So we will first of all standardize the data source, and then we will pull all the data from those data source through the API. That's a backend process, so you don't need to understand that process. And then once we interrelate the tables or the data, we clean the data, right? And then we sit with the management that, okay, what are the KPIs they have to monitor or they want to monitor on this dashboards. So basis the KPI, we have a team of the partners of the business consultants who are very much knowledgeable for the specific industry, right? And then we have persons from the data analytics team. So it's a combination and plus the clients, right? So it's a combination of 4 5 people, which generally works in the team so that they can share their insights. So once we decide the KPIs, then we start, you know, integrating with the data and see the results, which can be presented in the bar chart, in pie chart, in the geographical locations. And then we represent data on this particular dashboard.
Okay.
Then we show draft to the clients that whether this presentation is fine with them. For any changes, they are most welcome. We can make changes as per their understanding. And like we suggest having 8 to 10 KPIs per dashboards, because if we take more KPIs on the dashboard, then it will be very much, cluttered, right? And you will not get much information out of it. So once we finalize the dashboards, once we finalize the presentation, then we hand it over to the clients for their monitoring. It's we can publish this link privately. Anyone can log in into their Power BI account. They can just put their credentials and then they can see the dashboards, right? And we can just send across. Let's suppose if sales HOD wants to see this, we can share with the sales HOD only the sales dashboard. If the inventory manager wants to see the inventory dashboard, we can share the inventory dashboard only with the inventory manager. So this is how there is an, the data is being shared across the departments. And then of course, uh, there is a retainership model. So there is initial investment and then there is a retainership because on monthly basis, if client needs to make any changes on this data or they are not being very comfortable with the data, because we all always parallelly check it through the other data sources, whether the representation is fine or not, whether the figures are representing the true picture or not. So this is the entire process. About the pricing depends on the scope of work, right? So it depends totally how much dashboards client need to build. It depends how much KPIs they want to monitor. Depending on that information, we can customize quotations for the client. And of course, we can give the best, uh, offers to them. But this is something very much unique, which no one is doing right now, particularly in the market, right? So we can, in fact, I think if you are connect with any CPAs or if you are connect with any attorneys, if you are connected to any chambers, right? So we can represent to them also because they can leverage their client reportings.
Makes perfect sense.
Right, right.
Okay, and then what kind of time frame is something like this?
Yeah. So let's suppose if we want to prepare 4 to 5 dashboards, right? Which covers at least 30 to 40 KPIs. So entire one, I think 3 to 4 weeks goes into understanding process, and then of course 6 to 8 weeks goes into showing this dashboard to the client. So if I talk about approx 8 to 12 weeks time we can take to just represent this dashboard because it is not plug and play,
Right.
right? Because if it is a plug and play,
Custom.
then yeah, then we can, prepare it in a one day. Many of the dashboard, even the QuickBooks dashboard and all dashboards, they are plug and play because they represents only the data which they want to show. They are not understanding the client perspective, right? What client need to see, right? So here we customize it. We understand the client problem, what they want to monitor, right? And then we accordingly work around this projects.
Okay, makes sense. Yep. And then the costs are gonna vary depending on the dashboard.
Yeah, depending on the dashboard, so we generally price it per dashboard, right? Because we want to be very, flexible with the client.
Yep.
And like if client wants to take the one dashboard, they can take one dashboard. If client wants to take two dashboards, they can take two dashboard depending on their situation. And then we can, implement across the organization.
Okay,
Because
makes sense.
initially client doesn't have much confidence, right, on it that how it looks like, how the process will take time. That is the reason we generally take initial meetings with the clients or one-to-one meeting, understanding their questions, understanding their requirements and everything.
Hmm.
But we
Makes sense.
eventually came across that we should sell it on like per dashboard basis.
Hmm.
And then you can scale it up. 10 dashboards, 15 dashboards, uh, what are the number comfortable with the clients.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so this is the entire process, Marisa, about this dashboards. I think I have explained you why it is required, what we are doing, what is our USP in this, the entire process, and the sample use case, and how we can implement across companies, across industries.
Hmm. It's great.
So anything else you want to understand in this?
No, I think that that was a good demonstration of all the use cases that it could be implemented for.
Yeah,
So
and
it's great.
Yeah, and we have use case for marketing, we have use case for ARAP, we have use case for the lead management, we have use case for inventory, for production, for procurement, for everything. Of course, we can't, have a use case for every industry, but
Right.
we have a use case for a particular departments. And
Yeah, and I
then
think the
I
sales
think,
is
yeah,
important.
yeah,
This
and this is something which we just make it very generic so that client have a basic understanding that what should be the deliverables. And at the end of the day, we can customize.
hmm Okay, yeah, this was super helpful.
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. So I think I'm able to make you understand the entire process and how it being priced up. It depends on you how you want to, utilize it, right?
Yep,
And it's not a big investment. I think we make a lot of investment in marketing, but we never make investment to monitor our marketing efforts, right?
right,
We never make investment in monitoring our organization, how it is performing, right?
right.
So nowadays, every small business owners, they are going into firefighting, right? So it's a very good tool where they can just open it without any interference, without any dependency on anyone. They can just
Absolutely.
quickly see the transparent picture of their organization.
That's it. And that's what separates you guys from everyone else right there.
And that's the tagline of this, which we use, that any data, anywhere, anytime. So that's the important thing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Right.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
Bye for now.